I'm Simon Lucas. I'm Professor of AI at Queen Mary University of London, and I lead the Game AI Research Group. Within that, we particularly focus on reinforcement learning and simulation-based AI. And increasingly, we're using this to solve real-world problems as well, across all kinds of sectors, including telecoms, defense, you name it, any complex problem, we can solve it better if we build a simulation of the problem domain and then give the simulation to AI agents who then use that simulation to plan out possible scenarios and hence try to optimize their solutions. For example, working out how best for aircraft to taxi when they're on the ground at airports, but they actually burn a surprising amount of fuel, especially on short-haul flights. So there's a ton of real-world applications where we can use the simulations to help empower the AI agents. The example that we have here is a game called Planet Wars. You might have played it under the name of Galcon. And we've got two players. We've got the red player, the blue player, and we've got the neutral team in grey. And each of the red and blue players are trying to dominate the set of planets by invading them and taking over the other ones. It's a really kind of challenging real-time game. The agents have to respond in real time to the complex situations. At the moment, we also have people using generative AI to generate code-based agents to play the game, and they're playing quite well, but not as good as the best human-designed agents. So there's still a place for engineers at the moment. One of the projects that I'm really proud of that has come out of our group, and it's led by others in the group, in particular Raluca Gaynor, Diego Perez, and James Goodman. It's a big project, and it's called the Tabletop Games Project, and what they do is to create digital versions of great tabletop games, things like Seven Wonders, Settlers of Catan, and they also work with game designers to help work out possible problems with their new games before they publish them. And I hadn't realized this before, but it turns out that tabletop games, they're a really big market. So people release thousands and thousands of games each year, and there are big conferences, and we always have a presence now at these big conferences with our AI-based testing of these tabletop games. It's mostly open source, so anybody can contribute and supply new games or new game playing agents. And I think it's a real positive contribution to society. It's really interesting because I hadn't actually taught for many years. I've been head of school a couple of times, and then I was a research scientist and software engineer at Meta for a couple of years. And then 2 years ago, I came back to start teaching again, and I've really enjoyed it. It's been very satisfying. I've been able to apply all that I've learned in industry in the tech sector to help to improve the courses that I teach. And I think the students really appreciate it too. We use much of the latest tech. For example, when I teach further OO programming, it's using continuous integration system to give the students rapid feedback on their solutions to really tough exercises. And I also encourage them to responsibly use generative AI. Tools like ChatGPT and Claude and Gemini to help them generate code for complex solutions. But the emphasis is that they must understand what the code does, because we're going to test them on it in the lab. And if they can't explain it properly, then they don't get the marks. And we also tend to set complex problems that, at least the last time I checked, were beyond the scope of what these systems can do. But it's a very rapidly moving field. And I think that makes it both exciting and also challenging, because we have to all the time keep up to date with the latest developments and make sure that we're doing the best job that we reasonably can of teaching our students these important skills.